the first black coach going to the national championship game, possibly winning it, and us having the first black coach to win a national title game or a BCS title in college football. Maybe Prime wanted to be selfish and step on that. I don't know. If that was the case, then that was a good move, right?
BWB. Bandwagon Buffs.
That's right. It's your man's Harry Billion. Please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. All right, family, I got to go ahead and get into this video real quick. So that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. What up, BWBs? All of my bandwagon buffs, Buff Nation. What's going on? Welcome to this video and thank you for clicking. I really do appreciate it. So obviously by now, you have heard about the rumors that Coach Prime may be leaving Colorado. You've heard the other news that Coach Prime is interested in the Raiders job. Let's go over the first news that hit about the Raiders job, and then I'll tell you about the second one that's sort of debunking that news. All right, I know you've heard it already. Like I said, this has nothing to do with breaking news. When I come on here, and when you see one of my videos, you're looking for some type of perspective. I always have things wrapped up in a perspective, a contextual bubble, and I put it in the Liberian perspective. Then you go to the comments, and we can duke it out. You and I can duke it out. Stop playing with me. You know why you come here. You know why you clicked on these videos. Let's get to it. Let's go. So the very first one right there on your screen. Report: Deion Sanders has very strong interest in Raiders job amid Tom Brady buzz. Adam Wells. All right, that was on the 11th. That was just yesterday. Despite denying on multiple occasions that he was looking to leave Colorado, the allure of working with Tom Brady might be enough to get Deion Sanders into the NFL. This is per Vincent Bonsignor of the Las Vegas. If I pronounce that name incorrectly, go ahead and correct me in the chat. You'll always do that anyways. Per Vincent Bonsignor of the Las Vegas Review-Journal, Sanders has a very strong interest in becoming head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. All right. Vincent right there on his X account, formerly known as Twitter. The perception of the Raiders has been changed for the better by the presence of Tom Brady. Multiple good coaches being interested in the job is a good thing. That sounds a little weird. I mean, when you say somebody has an interest, you ain't just going to throw Prime's name in there and just say, well, multiple good coaches have an interest. It's a good thing. The thing about being an insider, saying stuff that goes out in the public and then goes viral and everybody starts talking about it, is as if it's only if you heard something. Either Coach Prime's people leaked it, somebody close to him leaked it, or you got more than just saying multiple coaches being interested in a high-profile job. It's a good thing. I don't know that if that's all that we're all going off of, that everybody's going off of. And then today, another news has come out. The reason why you're probably clicking on this video, because now there is news coming out that the Raiders are not interested. So let's go to that. By Joseph Zucker, January 12th. That's today. That's on Sunday. All right. You don't really catch a video from Harry B and TLP Sports on a Sunday. But like I told y'all, I go to a white church. You get out of church by like 12 o'clock, bro. Like I'm just saying, white people, y'all should have put me on a long time ago. I've been going to a black church forever. And I'm like, bro, it's like 4 o'clock. I'm done. How many offers we going to take? We don't talk like 5 different offers. The chicken dinner's getting cold downstairs. Come on now. Anyways, I'm just joking, by the way. I love all churches. You feel me? Report: Raiders have zero interest in Deion Sanders despite rumors on Colorado head coach. What is this about? We're going to talk about all that. I'm going to give you my perspective. If you just hold on just a little bit, okay? Give me a chance. Just hold on just a little bit. The Las Vegas Raiders have zero interest in hiring Deion Sanders away from Colorado, according to the Athletics, Vic Taffer and Tashawn Reed. On Saturday, the Las Vegas Review-Journal's Vincent Bonsignor cited a source who says Sanders has a very strong interest in the job. The person indicated that NFL-connected associates of Sanders reached out to the Raiders to express Sanders' interest in the opening. Oh, okay. Maybe I didn't read down far enough. Maybe I didn't. I didn't read that part. Anyway, even before that report and predating the firing of Antonio Pierce, fans were questioning whether the Hall of Fame cornerback might emerge as a candidate for Las Vegas. The Raiders are badly in need of a new quarterback, and they'll likely address that concern in the 2025 NFL draft. Maybe they'd hire Coach Prime and pair him with his son. Colorado star Shedeur Sanders. Boxer Noir's report provided another wrinkle because Sanders had been given the public impression he wants to stay with the Buffaloes for the long haul. That Taffer and Reed already threw cold water on the idea of him landing in Sin City would seemingly eliminate the possibility. If the team doesn't have any interest right now, it's hard to picture what would lead the front office and ownership to do a 180 and consider him. Per The Athletic, 6 candidates are confirmed for the Raiders. That's Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Steve Spagnuolo, I know about Steve, you know what I'm saying? Todd Monken, Robert Sela, and Pete Carroll. You know about those guys. More names could be added to that list because Las Vegas' search for a new head coach is less than a week old. The organization is only a few days removed from ousting general manager Tom Telesco as well. In the event the Raiders circle does widen, don't expect it to include Sanders. So if that's not going to happen, we got to ask the question. That news have been debunked now. We all can relax. What were you going to do, first of all, without a Coach Prime at Colorado? That's just a question I want to get out the way before I go on into my other perspective. What were some of y'all going to do? Did it cross your mind? Were you like, oh, shoot, I'm about to lose my channel, or I'm going to start covering other teams in the Big 12 or in college football? What exactly were you going to do if you are a Colorado creator? Let's put that aside. Let's just get into it. Let's get into my perspective. The first question I want to ask is why? The why. The why I kind of discussed a little bit on the live, but if you were not on the live and you clicked on this video, you want to hear a little bit of my perspective is why. Why would he do that? Why would Coach Prime, knowing that you just recruited one of the top quarterbacks in his class, he had to reclassify, that's Juju Lewis. But why would you recruit a Juju Lewis? And when you're recruiting these young men, you got to give them some kind of confidence, all right? You got to give them some type of word to say, hey, man, I'm going to be there. Don't worry about it. So if you did that, why would you then go on national television and put that kind of information out there? This is after all of these months of saying there's no way he's going to the NFL. And then all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden, you go on there, you drop that kind of bombshell after telling us all these months that you would not coach in the NFL. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, you say, well, obviously I've been thinking about it. You're human. We know that you've been thinking about it. No matter what you tell us in the news, no matter what you go into the press conferences and say, that's not my focus. Whatever you do, we know that you're human and you're going to think about it because that's the pinnacle. That's the height of all heights. We know that. So y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. We know he was thinking about it. But why? Like I said, why would you go out there and drop that kind of bomb? What are some of the reasons I can give you as to why? The first reason that I gave was culture clash in Boulder. Something's happening. Something must have transpired in Boulder that he may be thinking, let me set the course now that may make my exit at whatever point that I exit may make it seem a little bit easier because I am now interested in coaching in the NFL. But I've already threw some ashes on that bridge, right? I can't say he burned the bridge because you have the right as a human being to change your mind. If you said one thing, you have the right to change your mind. But as a media personality, as somebody who is one of the best marketers, do you just come out and say, all right, I changed my mind? Is that a good look? Is it dishonest to not do it that way? The way that we would expect a normal person to do it? Is it dishonest? I don't think any of us have the right to question him, right? We're not at his stature. We're not at his level. So we don't have any rights to question what he does. I think for us as supporters, as fans out there, there's nothing wrong with having a question in our minds. Or even asking the question. Like, hey, bro, you told us you weren't going. You told us that you want to train the young men, make them men, you want to grow men and put them out into the society, right? You didn't want to be coaching a bunch of inflated egos, a bunch of rich men. These are your words. I may be paraphrasing just a little bit, but you said you didn't want to coach a bunch of rich men that probably weren't going to listen to you. And you were probably going to halftime and they weren't listening or they weren't playing well. By the time you came out to the second half of them would have been fired. Whatever you want to call us. Those of us who try to keep you upright and try to defend every word that you say, we're going to come out here. We're going to say, like, yeah, man, Coach Prime said X, Y, and Z. There's no way his mom is here. His daughter plays basketball with CU, even though she jumped into that transfer portal and is up out of here. There's certain things that we're going to look at and we're going to say, these are the reasons Prime ain't going. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we get, I may have changed my mind. But those words did not come out of your mouth. You didn't come out of your mouth and say, hey guys, I have the right to change my mind, and I did change my mind. You have the right to change your mind. For those of us who are out here defending everything that you say that comes out of your mouth, and we're making videos and saying, nah, Prime, and we're catching strays from everybody else, I like some type of transparency. I'm just saying, because we know you as a transparent person. On one hand, we're arguing about how transparent you are, how straight up talking you are, how you just tell it like it is. You don't shy away from anything. And then on one hand, we got to defend the fact that now you've changed your mind without coming back and telling us, hey, man, I've changed my mind. mind. The question of why did you do it, I truthfully can't tell you why you would do something like that. Like why Prime would do something like that. I'm reaching and I'm trying to find different reasons why he would have had to do that. Is it a culture clash in Boulder? Boulder doesn't have the money to play the NIL game and compete with the Ohio State, Texas, Georgia, all the big programs. So it's going to be hard to keep his promise. There's so many reasons. I'm like, Boulder doesn't have the money to up his contract, even though there are reports out there that he has a pretty good contract out there, right? If you listen to the Joe Klatz and other people who are in the know, that there is a contract extension that is pretty hefty. Maybe it's not enough money. Maybe Prime feels a certain way like, hey man, I feel like I'm bringing a whole lot of money to Boulder, millions and millions and millions of dollars. You know, if you think about Bill Belichick's contract, I think what, 30 million he's getting paid or something like that. If you think about other people who probably don't have as much influence as I have are getting paid the type of money they're getting paid, then maybe I deserve a little bit more. I need more up the pot. Maybe that's one of the reasons. There is no agreement, or there's not anything big enough for me to hold on to. So I'm going to now find my way up out of here. Why do it publicly? That's a fair question. Why would you do it publicly? Nobody knows. I can't find a reason. Because Colorado has done well by you. Colorado ain't got no sneaky person putting, unless they do. And I don't know, because you never know what's happening on the inside. Some of these anonymous coaches that have come out and put out stuff, some of these writers, who's feeding them information from the inside? Who knows? So you don't know. I can't stand on that. But all I know is that the relationship, nothing publicly has come out that we know, or any type of crumb or inclination that somebody from the organization says something that may have caused Prime to say, hey, let me protect my interest. And let me jump out there before this thing gets any uglier for me. So is that what happened? Because you pretty much have the keys to the kingdom in Boulder. You can pretty much do anything you want to do. Bruh, Rick George, the AD, has your face in his jacket, bruh. Your name, Prime, has preceded Colorado. You got your documentary. Your son is there filming. He's making thousands of dollars from filming. You got other people there making money. Reach the people. So you got Uncle Neely there making money as well. A lot of people are making money. So the school has said, all right, that's fine. You can bring in your battalion. You pretty much have the keys to the kingdom. Not every organization is going to allow that to happen. They may allow maybe one or two, but as many as they have and what they're doing, and to have the Prime name being marketed next to the school's name, certain things you see Prime and then you see Colorado, you see Prime. They're almost synonymous. I don't know too many programs that will allow that to happen. So when that happens, is there an internal war that's going on that says we need to separate the Prime brand from the university, and that's about to come out soon? We don't know, but that's something that you can ask. It's like, well, what if you say why and what is going on that's causing now either a rift or something internally happening for Prime now to feel less confident about his tenure at Colorado, for him now to go out in public and say something as such that he was really rebutting before? We don't know, but there are questions that you have to ask. You pretty much don't do what he's doing or what he did if there wasn't something there. Coaches are not going to go public, all right? I know a lot of y'all going to go to the comments and you're going to be like, oh, coach can do anything, he's Prime, blah, 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 blah. But listen, if a coach has an intention to do something, he ain't putting it out there on national television. You don't, because you're recruiting. You're in a recruiting cycle. College football is almost over. Now, Notre Dame and Ohio State are going to be playing in the championship game. Right after that, we're going to go into a dead period. Okay, there ain't no dead period. I got you. There's no dead period, because obviously there's going to be talking heads like myself and others are going to be out there still talking about the preseason, the gets, the losses. We're all going to be talking about, there ain't going to be dead period, but there's going to be no football being played. So now we're going to be focused on who we're getting, who we're losing, who's in that portal, who's coming out, who's coming over here, who's signing with us, who's committing, all that stuff. High school, everyone. But then you go dirty the waters. You go muddy the waters with this information. You said, if I answer that question, we're going to go viral, right? It went viral because you're Prime. So why? We're recruiting. What did you tell Juju Lewis and his father and his parents? What did you tell Caden Salter for them to come here? The decision that a lot of these young men make is predicated upon the coach being there, because you would realize that the second that a coach makes a decision to leave the school, they all jump into the transfer portal, or a lot of them jump into the transfer portal. When people like myself start asking questions like why, and then some people come in after me, I find out to be really disingenuous, as if you don't ask that question, as if I don't see you in other comments having a regular discussion. But I'm going to stay true to myself and I'm going to ask the questions. Now that there's been a rebuttal or it been a debunkification, maybe we can relax and we can go back to our little corners and start talking Colorado football, who we're getting, who we're losing, who we're missing out on, who we're not missing out on, who's running the transfer portal. Right now is Texas Tech. Colorado is second in the Big 12, but Texas Tech overall in our conference, in the Big 12 and in college football, Texas Tech is actually running the transfer portal. That's the conversation we're supposed to be having, not about Coach Prime leaving Colorado. Why would he want us to have that conversation? Maybe the answers will come later. Somebody that knows, because you know what the press does. We don't have press badges, but we can get these articles and we can read these articles. So somebody's asking questions. You didn't want to know why Prime did it? Okay, maybe I'll offer you one. Colorado didn't make the playoffs. Colorado, made a bowl game. We're not going to be talking about Colorado. We're going to be focused on Notre Dame, Ohio State. And maybe Prime wanted to insert his name while we're talking about Notre Dame and Ohio State or Texas and everything else. Maybe he wants to keep Colorado's name in the press. Was that the best way to do it? I don't know. Why would he do that? I don't know. I mean, I would lay low. I would just lay low and go recruit my butt off. Maybe that's the little bit of something I can glean off of and says, yeah, maybe that's something that is pretty cool. He could have done that. It's almost like we're stepping on the national championship or we're stepping on the playoffs in Colorado. We're talking about Colorado when we could be talking about other things. But again, it's playoffs, but it's also NFL Combine and draft time. So Shador's name is being mentioned out there. Travis Hunter's name is being mentioned out there. While we're talking about the playoffs, you're still talking about Colorado because it's either Cam Ward, number one, Shador Sanders, number one, Travis Hunter. We're still talking about it. So maybe it was a good move-ish because Colorado is kind of dominating the news cycle. When we're supposed to be talking about Notre Dame, the first black coach going to the national championship game, possibly winning it, and us having the first black coach to win a national title game or a BCS title in college football. Maybe Prime wanted to be selfish and step on that. I don't know. If that was the case, then that was a good move, right? Ish? Yeah, like he wants to step on that and keep his name out there and keep us talking about Prime as opposed to maybe all of the videos that we would have made about the first black coach coaching in the national title game and possibly having the first black coach to win it. Maybe Prime wanted to step on that. I'm not sure. But whatever the reason, this whole Raiders situation has now been debunked. There's zero interest, and we can go back into our low corners, a little nervous maybe. Don't lie. Like, tell me the truth. You know for a fact. That's why, like, the TLP Sports Club is one of the most honest college football channels there is, okay? Stop playing with me, because I'll lay it all out there, because you were thinking about it, all right? Without Prime at Colorado, the videos you made about other teams, you looked at those views, you woke up one morning, you're like, dang, bro, every time I make a Colorado video, I get thousands of views. But why is this video not even cracking 500 views? Like, what is going on? Because the interest is Colorado. The interest is Deion Sanders. The interest is Shador, Travis. That is the interest. That's the bread and butter. So you tell me the truth, okay? Look into my eyes. I look into your eyes, and you tell me, okay? Let me turn my head around like I usually have it. Let's talk. Talk to me, my guy. Go into the comments and talk to me. Were you a little nervous? All right. Were you just a little nervous because you're thinking like, dang, all right, if Prime leaves, what happens to my channel? I mean, there are a few channels that will probably survive because they set themselves up in that way. Anyways, sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think about the first report or the second report. And what does all of this mean for Colorado? I'm glad we can get back to Colorado. My channel is cool. We're going to sit back and relax and then wait for next year to happen. But maybe he's not leaving. Maybe he is. We don't know yet. I would say this one settles it just a little bit. I'll leave it right there, and I'll see you. Get it? I'll see you on the next video. Okay.